Ubuntu's background in development education would add so much to the discussion. Last week we opened up initiations with international education, internationalizing the curriculum, and we just found we have so much in common. So that imagery of the patchwork quilt with education for sustainability or for a sustainable future is sort of the idea of the quilt, but not its own discipline or anything. It's now being seen just as a purpose of education. But,
and Charles, is there a term that is kind of transcending all nations, or is everybody describing it as different? You know, the kind of education that we're talking about, or is it a concern at all to you? The different terms or the different ways of describing it?
The concern I have comes back from my time as a superintendent of curriculum with the Toronto Board of Education. When you add the word education after it, you know, it becomes sort of an adjectival, which we'll get to it when there's spare time in the curriculum, and we'll get to it as you know, and so that's why I've always been against sustainability education, you know, because it just yet another. But in most cases, that's all you can do is to focus it in as a special interest group. So the work that we've been trying to do is to go to the professional associations, whether it's mathematics, language, or whatever, and to form special interest groups within that to explore how you embed the concepts of relevant concepts of sustainability into that particular discipline. But you still need the idea that while no one discipline owns it, and every discipline can contribute something, you still need that way of looking at it. How do you bring the patches together to actually form a meaningful blanket?
Yeah.
And so you need those who assume a bit of leadership, who reach their hand out and to talk to other groups and so on, and bringing it together with realistic ways for education leaders to look at it and say, okay, this will work in our town, our village, our school, and that whole institution approach.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm sorry, it's another long answer, but you know.
No, it's great, Charles. It's great because it is great to revisit that. I suppose we spend so long almost carving out the space of what is DevEd/ESD in order that we could raise awareness of it, that there is always the danger that you then, like you say, make it seem like something that's there beside education as opposed to central to education. So I suppose it's kind of a double-edged sword. In one way, we feel we have to name it and emphasize it and put it into curriculum and into policy. But like you say, the end goal is that you don't see those divisions when it is integral to quality education that's delivered to standards. So